In this video, I will show you how to use your DJI Ronin, and it's something quite simple, but there's a couple of improvements that I will show you in the same way. So that's the gimbal. To make it work, you have to put a battery right here and lock the device. That's for the RS4. That might vary a little bit for other models. Then you have a tripod that you can screw under here, but I did change that for this because it works so much better. If you want it, link in the description. Then you put your camera on top here. This is also an improvement that you can find the link in the description. Otherwise, you have to put the plate and it takes a bit more time. Then, once it is on the gimbal, you press the power button that is just right here. You press and hold it and it will turn on just like that. If it's the first time that you use it, you will need to calibrate it. But I will not explain how to do it in this video. You can see the video in the corner if you need help with that. Then, once it's on, well, you just kind of use it. It just do its job like that. There's a couple of features, however. You see, now I'm on a mode where it will always be balanced like that. It will keep the horizon, but it will also keep the horizon like that. So if you want to point down, you can't. You're gonna have to use, you see, actually it's on PV mode, but if you go on PTV, that will add a pan. So now if I point down, it will point down. If I point up, it will point up. But if I go on the side, it remain on the horizon. If I want to keep it for a moment on the same horizon, I can use this little guy over here. And you see, now it point down. But if I press and hold it, it do the very same thing as before. Meaning that if you want to drop your camera, well, you can. But if you release it and you want to point the sky, then you can. You can also use that little button over here. If you double press it, it will return to the main position. And if you triple press it, it will go on the other side. Double press, return to this position. Just curious, if I triple press from here, yeah, so three press goes on you, double press is on the other side. There you go. Then you also have a third feature over here. So if you go at the FPV, now if you go on the side, it will follow to the side and it will simply just follow everything. Now we have the same principle. If we press here, it will not lock the tilt, but it will lock this one. Actually, it seems to, no, it doesn't lock the tilt. No, it doesn't. Just the horizon. And same principle again. If you double press it, it returns to the same position. On the side here, you can switch to a zoom for the joystick. So this little button here change the function of the joystick. So like that, you can control the motor. So you can point down, you can point up, you can go left, you can go right, you can do whatever you want. And on the other position, it's for the zoom of the camera if you have something compatible for this, which is not my case. Again, double press, and it goes back to that position. Then, what is important else to see? Yeah, I would say this this is also an improvement. Once it's on, if you just put it on the table and you don't want to use your camera for a few minutes, just press the power button here, just a single press, and it will simply lock all the motor, all the gear. So see, it just act as a tripod. So that put your gear in sleep, which is great. Then if you want to use it again, you just press the power button and you're good to go. One last thing. Well, if you are into lock position and you want to turn it off, and you press and hold the power button, which will turn off the device, it will remain like this, which is not very good for starring. So what you have to think, now I will power it on. Now it's on, and once the gear are engaged, you can press and hold the power button and it will return to the off position. And you should keep your camera on it until it's into that position. Because otherwise, if you try to shut it down and the camera is not on it, the motor will just have a very hard time because it's not calibrated for that position, for that weight. So now you can remove your camera, you can remove the battery, and simply store it into your bag. So I hope this was helpful.